Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 38 of Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, and let's see if we can get that heart back from good old Oogie Boogie.
You want it? Well then come on over and get it! Ah! Now, let's see if I can get their attention! Oh, hi, This is it? Nobody disrespects me! Nobody!
Now, if the heart were to work properly, then, well, we'd be in trouble, you see. You know, we'd be swarming Heartless. But thankfully, it's pretty much a failure because we only have 2 Heartless to deal with, and they're pretty much easy at this point. Anyway, we have a boss fight against League of Disney villain member Oogie Boogie. Now, the thing you need to remember about this fight is to, well, find Oogie Boogie himself. You have to find him and keep a lock on him at all times because he tends to move around like so right here. And when those buttons on the bottom glow, make sure you try and get to the one that's close to him. That way this platform here would rise up and we would essentially hit him a lot, you see, because, yeah. Now, Oogie Boogie will throw some dye every now and then, which can explode. And he can also push buttons up there, which also, well, cause this scythe thing to come on down and try and kill our heroes. Because this is actually the roulette wheel of doom. Yeah, he also tosses some dye to summon these scythes as well, but yeah. And that device that he's under right here, that actually regenerates his health. But I'm not going to give him the chance, you see, because I'm over leveled at this point, you see. So overall, it's just a matter of making sure you keep an eye on him and follow his movements so that when the time comes, we can get on the right raising platform and, well, hit him, you see. And, yeah, on bouncing, rotating sides. That's pleasant, and more exploding dye. And this fight's pretty much easy when you think about it, as long as you just keep an eye on him and keep your party intact. And this should do it right here. Ow! Come on, you... And just like that, we have defeated Oogie Boogie. So, hooray. And I like that Jack Skellington sounds when he hits things. It's like a big old whack. It's kind of weird. But hey, Jack's tall and powerful, and that's why I like him. He is competent. And poor Oogie Boogie, reduced to a pile of bugs because you forget, Oogie Boogie is actually made up of little tiny bugs all sewn together in a sack. So yeah, the heart's a failure, and again, it's a good thing or else we'd be in trouble. Or we get accessory Holy Circuit, or Circlet, and another Ansem report. Boy. So, did Maleficent just hand a report to each member of the League and say, "Study this to learn more about the Heartless"? Would it be more sense to make copies of the same report or something? But, yeah. And what's this? What is going on? I thought Oogie Boogie was dead. What?
Huh?
Well, shoot. Oogie is back and he has merged with his house. So, yeah, those dark globs right there. Well, that's our target for this boss fight, if you can call it a boss fight, really. I mean, you figure Oogie Boogie back, giant form, he'd be a real threat, right? No, not really. This is pretty much a case of clipped Winged Angel. You know how one Winged Angels, the villain gets a more powerful form to really mess you up? And when someone tries to do the same thing, but it doesn't turn out exactly in their favor, in fact, it actually makes them a bit worse, well, I think this is one of those cases right here, ladies and gentlemen. because we have giant Oogie Boogie with his mansion, and he doesn't move, and he doesn't, well, he attacks, quote unquote, but with fire and the occasional breath and moving the platforms so that you cannot get to those shadow globs right there. But other than that, this boss fight right here is kind of lame in the long run, you see. Because what we have to do right here is track down each one of these dark shadow glob things and destroy each and every one of them. Now, it looks easy at first, but as we continue to destroy more and more of these globs right here, well, well, Heartless will appear. Well, the Gargoyle Heartless will appear. And they will try to attack Sora, and they're pretty much the bigger threat in this case, you see. And, like, the only problem with this is to track down where exactly these shadow globs are, you see. And, oh, goody, moving platforms. I'm so threatened. Yeah, the only problem is you have to track down where each one of these globs are. I mean, if you do not know exactly where they are, this fight could take a while, you see. But, yeah, other than that, we're just going around, hitting globs, and, yeah, again, lame fight. Pretty lame fight. We don't even get touch damage, but I'm grateful for that, you see, or else, you know. As I go through this, I have to wonder, I know that A Nightmare Before Christmas was originally released under Touchstone Pictures, but I'm assuming Touchstone was a division under, what was that company called? Was it always a Disney subsidiary, or was it under the same? I'm assuming Touchstone was a Disney subsidiary because I think Touchstone was made for movies that were more, how you say, adult-ish. You know, how Disney sometimes likes to market to the family and stuff. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out when did A Nightmare Before Christmas officially became more on the Disney side than, well, when it first came out, you see. But yeah. Although I do recall James and the Giant Peach, who was under a similar animation style, you know, the stop-motion puppets thing. They were released under Disney. And I do remember a quote-unquote cameo from good old Jack Skellington as an undead pilot. Pirate. I cannot talk today, sorry. An undead pirate, and I think there was a skeleton of a duck that kind of resembled Donald Duck, you see. And do you think that the developers of this game saw James and the Giant Peach? I mean, did James and the Giant Peach came before this or after this? I'm curious. But it doesn't really matter anyway at this point, because this is actually our last Shadow Dark Glob thingy, and we did it. We have beaten Oogie Boogie's Manor once and for all. And I just got the move Sliding Dash because, well, Sliding Dash is actually a pretty awesome move. I'll demonstrate later on. And with no more Dark Shadow Globs to power Oogie Boogie, he is defeated for good. And because Oogie Boogie merged with his manor, well, when he dies, the manor will go with it. And that's why, folks, you should try and get the Red Trinity inside that house first. If you're playing the regular old vanilla edition PS2 version of the Kingdom Hearts game. However, like I said, in the final mix version, the arch where the Red Trinity is has been moved to the outside, which means, well, well, we can still get that Trinity, and I will get it later on. And fancy that, the keyhole to Halloween Town was underneath the manor this entire time. Who'd have thought? And folks, we also get a gravity upgrade, so, hooray, I guess? Alright, so, what now?
Sally, why didn't I listen to you?
Don't feel bad, Jack. We'll come up with another plan for Halloween. Next time, we'll do it together.
Oh, isn't that sweet? You know, for a pair of monsters, it is kind of cute for, you know, Jack and Sally to hook up. I mean, they did in the movie, A Nightmare Before Christmas, but, yeah. and we get the keychain Pumpkinhead. Now, in my opinion, it has the same strength as my current keychain Crab Claw, but since it lacks magic power, I'm not going to equip Pumpkinhead because, well, why not? I mean, it looks cool, but at the same time, yeah. What is a heart anyway? You know, what is a heart? Well, besides being the one thing that can pump blood into your body to keep your body running, you see, it makes sense from their point of view because, well, they're basically a bunch of undead creatures, you see, and wouldn't need a heart, especially in Jack Skellington's case, you see, because he's a skeleton, you see? Yeah. Also, fun fact, if you happen to have Sora, Donald, and Goofy among your party when you enter Dr. Finkelstein's lab, Jack will be hanging around with Sally, and that's kind of cool, I guess. And I think that if you switch to Jack, well, Jack will disappear from, well, hanging around with Sally and them, so it's kind of odd, you think. Oh, look, the trio survived the collapse of the manor. I'm guessing that when Oogie Boogie went went big, I guess they escaped in the chaos or something, so yeah. Oh, look, they're going to try to be innocent, but they're pranksters. They're just going to be pranking and all that sort of thing. And yeah, Mayor, they're not going to be pranking anyone because they're just going to be standing right there the next time we come back to Halloween Town, so well, what's the point, really? What is the point? Alright, folks, I'm going to do some errands because, well, that was a fight, and I want to take care of some things. And now I'm the Pumpkin Prince. Well, first of all, I want to go get some of those Final Mix exclusive Heartless. So let's go back to Traverse Town right here, and in the second district, there'll be an exclusive Heartless known as the Sniper Wild. Now, they're actually recolored bouncy wilds from Deep Jungle, but Sniper Wilds, they can be dangerous if you do not know what to do. First of all, I'd recommend equipping the Stop spell to one of your shortcuts, and lock on to the good old Sniper Wild because, as the name implies, it's trying to snipe you and trying to hunt you down, you see. And if they spot you, well, you're in trouble and you have to get out of there fast. By initiating Stop on one of these things, well, you can go for the attack and they go down easy. But the more you take down, the more they appear, and uh-oh, get out of here. I'm out of here. The only reason I'm after Sniper Wild is to get the entry in Jiminy's journal for, well, completion's sake, you see. Anyway, let's go back to Agrabah because the time has come for us to take care of that dreaded pot scorpion. Yeah, remember the pot scorpion I showed off when I first came to Agrabah? Now it's time to take this thing on, you see. Now, before you can initiate the fight with the pot scorpion, try and destroy as many pots as you can, and the more pots you destroy, well, the more tech points you get. And, yeah, looks like I might be able to get them all in... Oh! Yeah, just one. I'm off by one. Now, as you can see here, the pot scorpion may have crappy health, but its defense, oh, jeez Louise, it has very strong defense. And attacking this thing head on, it is suicide. As Donald and Goofy are demonstrating. I mean, attacking it head on, it won't work. Well, it's working right here. You know why? Because the pot scorpion has an attack that, well, essentially is a charge attack, you see. The key to winning against this thing is to, well, have guard on standby. Make sure you equip guard for this fight. And wait for it to do its charge attack. And when you guard it at the right time, well, it'll flip over. And then, and only then, you can attack this thing, you see. Because, yeah, while it's on its back, it's vulnerable, you know. Now, it also has this attack where it spews out dark energy, which can hurt on contact. And which means that it is possible to get hurt while this thing is on its back because, yeah. And the more you damage it, obviously, the more desperate and crazy it'll get because, well, we're actually causing damage to this thing. Oh, good. Now spewing out all this dark energy right here. See if I can get it right quick. Get, come on. Oh, come on. It's got a little left. This is bleh. Now, the purpose of these Final Mix exclusive Heartless is, well, added challenge and for more of synthesis items, because the more successful you are at defeating these Final Mix Heartless, the more special synthesis items you get for synthesis. And it's mainly for those who want to get those special items and the ultimate weapon, Ultima weapon. And I'm going to let you know right now, folks, I'm not going to go for Ultima weapon because, well, to be fair, my... Oh, come on, just got a little sliver left. I'm not going for Ultima weapon. For me, it's more about bragging rights, you see. And it's not required to get the special movie in the end, but, well, that's just me. I don't know about you, but it's just me, you see. And yes, now I'm going back to Halloween Town because I'm going to go after that arrow art because I can. So, yeah, just wait for it to spin. Make sure you select, well, the white mushroom when the time comes, you see. Alright, come on, spin around, twirl around. There we go. So yeah, folks, don't worry, this will be my last stop, well, Halloween Town-wise at least. And we are actually going to be moving on to our next world, next part. Because, well, let's get the story moving, shall we? And the next world is mandatory for, well, plot reasons, you see, and to finish off the game, as we're going to see. See, there's Jack hanging with Sally, and I am going to get that torn page that I keep on missing. See? Got it. And that will be number 4, and folks, I will see you in part 39.